Alright guys, welcome back, and in this video we're finally going to start learning some cool functions. The very first one, let's just go ahead and jump right into it, is today. So anytime you want to insert the current date, hit equals today. It pops up when you start typing it. It takes no parameters and hit enter. Now of course today is 11/5/14. Now actually I got a story to tell, but first, before I tell you guys this story, I want to mention this. This date function right here, it's dynamic. And whenever I say that, I mean whenever you save this program and open it up tomorrow, it's not going to say 11/5, it's going to say 11/6. So just remember that for this function. So it's not really good. Let's say you like want to log when your employees came into work. Don't use today because it's not going to work properly. So when would you want to use this? Say you're making an invoice, and every time you print it out, you want to print the current date. That's a good example of when you would use this function. So now that we got that boring stuff out of the way, let me tell you about my story. So today is 11/5. It's 3 a.m. It just turned the 5th. But yesterday was election day, and I didn't know it because I really hate politics, and I don't know. I probably should worry about that stuff, but I got other stuff to do. So I wasn't really paying attention to what day it was because I really didn't care, and I went to get Chinese food, and um, the guy, I picked up my food, and he goes, "Happy Erection Day." I go, "Erection Day? What the?" And I walked out. I'm like, okay. And then I saw someone on Bucky's room talking about Election Day. I'm like, okay, thank God he wasn't. I can actually go back and get Chinese food, but what do you guys care about my Chinese food eating experience? You guys just care about Excel. So let's talk about Excel a little bit more. Now, anytime you want to autofill dates, you can do it the same way that you autofill something like numbers. So actually, if we copy this, then it's just going to copy the same date because it's copying the formula. I'll show you guys real quick. But whenever we type in a date manually, so say we manually typed in 11/5/2014, and then we try to fill in some more cells, what it's going to do is it's going to increment by 1 day at a time. So the increment of 1 day is the default increment. But sometimes we don't want to autofill by 1 day. We want to increment by like maybe a week or maybe 1 month. So 12/5, and then which would be the next month was 1/5/2015. So how do we change the increment? Well, one cool thing that we can do, instead of dragging with the left mouse button, if you actually hold down the right mouse button, and I know this is going to look the same, but I'll click the right mouse button, start dragging, and then release. Whenever you release, it's going to give you a new pop-up menu. Fill days. This is how it filled by default before. Fill weekdays, fill months, and fill years. So I'll go ahead and select fill months. That sounds like some guy's name, Phil Months. That'd be a pretty cool name if, he was into Excel. So, man, my jokes are just getting worse, aren't they? But anyways, whenever I select that, then it says, okay, you want to increment by months instead. And of course, if you select another option, it'll fill by whatever you selected, but I don't need to demonstrate that. Now, another thing that I want to actually demonstrate is this. So let me type in like, I don't know, 4/8/1990. I'll say that's just a random date, and of course today's date might as well use 11/5/2014. So let me go ahead and say that, I don't know. So I was calculating someone's age, and they were born on 4/8/1990. Actually, let me say this is birthday and this is today. Alright, so say that we wanted to calculate the age of this person. So of course what we'd do is we would, pretty simple, make an equal sign for a formula. Okay, so this is his birthday, and of course to get the age you just subtract. So okay, birthday minus today gives you the age. Hit enter. Okay, so he is 8,977 days old, but we have a little problem here, and that is whenever of course, we work with time. Since Excel is converting this to a number behind the scenes, it gives us a negative number. Now we know that time can't be negative, so anytime you try to subtract dates and you get this problem, you actually want to use the absolute value function, and that is this. ABS, and I actually don't even know if I told you guys about this function yet, but this gives you the absolute value of whatever calculation is inside the parameters. So even though this calculation turns out to be a negative number, whenever we throw in the absolute, gives us a positive number. So make sure you always use absolute whenever you're subtracting dates, just to make sure. And another cool thing is this. If you ever just want to get the actual kind of the age that human beings think of it instead of just a stupid Excel format, like for example, how many years old is this guy? Instead of like, we don't care how many days he is, who talks in that language, what we can do is this. Make a new formula and set it equal to year of the first date minus year of the second date. And what this does is it basically, this function right here, year, it takes whatever date is in the parameter and it extracts the year from it. So it's pretty much saying 2014 minus 1990, and that would give you a date that you more expect, kind of more humanized year. So what's another thing that I can teach you guys? This is actually going to come in handy a lot. Whenever we have, I'll just show you guys the basics of this right now. And it's not really going to make sense right here, but we're typically going to do it whenever we reference other cells. But what we can do is toss in 3 values in this date function, and it's going to convert those values or integers to a date. So we'll say 2008, I don't know, just something like 12/3. What it does is it takes 3 integers, hit enter, and it converts it to a date. Now again, instead of just typing the values in, because if we were going to type something in, we might as well just, add the / and make it a date. This is going to come in handy whenever we have cells with 3 integers in it. Say someone was filling out a form, and this is how our data is formatted. We can just reference those other cells. So something like this. Date E1. And now hit enter and check it out. So that's when it would come in handy. Again, that's the date formula. So, holy crap, this video is getting kind of long. Oh yeah, I wasted all that time on the stinking Chinese food story or whatever. Alright, so I'll save the rest of the date and time functions for the next tutorial, and well, yeah, see you then.